The start of this year, we saw a brand new mouse in 2024 have a 3395 sensor, Nordic MCU, Juana switches, saw a V2 shape, at a weight of just 50 grams, all for just $40. But what's the catch? There has to be a catch, right? Now, I'm paraphrasing from MKBHD here, but good mice are getting cheap, and cheap mice are getting good. This mouse, the VXE R1 Pro, was kindly sent out to me by AliExpress. And after years of using other cheap mice, I just wanted to know whether this mouse deserved the hype that it got on its release. For comparison, I've been using the Viper Mini as my main mouse. Size-wise, the VXE R1 Pro is similar. The length is near enough identical, the width is slightly wider, and this is because VGN have made the sides of this much flatter. The back of the hump is slightly bigger, and as the shell is made from one piece, the actual hump is a lot smoother. The coating feels really nice, and you can feel the mouse glide smoothly in the palm without it sticking to your hand. The back of the shell fills your palm really well, which makes it ideal for palm or palm claw grips, but I wouldn't opt out if your grip is different. What about the weight? Well, at about 50 grams, it's even lighter than the Viper Mini, and I'd say the weight difference is definitely noticeable. The balance is good, and it doesn't feel one-sided, and the build quality isn't compromised because of this. There's no rattle to be heard, and no flexing in the sides of the mouse when squeezed. Now you might ask the question, why the Standard Pro over the Pro Max? Well, many users on Reddit have reported double-click issues with the Pro Max, at least on launch. So I figured it would be better to get my hands on this. Safe to say, I've not had any issues. The Standard Pro model uses Huano Frostberry switches, which is essentially a pink shell, pink dot switch. And the clicks on these feel good. Not too light, but snappy. There's a small amount of pre-travel on the clicks, but nothing too crazy. There is some post-travel on the side buttons, but nothing too major. And for the scroll wheel, whilst it requires a little more force to actually rotate, each scroll feels more pronounced. Again, compared to the Viper Mini, Viper Mini is notorious for having scroll wheel issues, so there's that. The stock feet I found are actually really great out of the box. These come pre-applied and they glide smoothly on the pad without any scratching. I don't feel the need to upgrade to glass skates. The glide is already really good, and you might consider you putting dot skates on, and I wouldn't see any issues with that at all. As for the wireless performance, I'd say it is flawless. I have my receiver connected to a adapter on an extended dongle, and I've not had any issues with tracking, no jumps or stuttering. The mouse doesn't come with a 4K dongle out the box. However, you can purchase that separately if you do want to run 2 GHz or higher. This dongle is actually reasonably priced as well, so it's probably an extra $10 or $20 at max if you want to maximize the performance out of this. The VXE R1 Pro comes with a 250 mAh battery. I would say the battery lasts about 3 days, but obviously this varies on your usage. You'll be able to use it all day and night without it running out of charge, but if it does get low, you can plug it in and use it as if it's wired. The cable is soft and flexible, obviously not as good as a dedicated wired mouse, but it's still very acceptable. And the charging time is only around 1.5 hours, so the downtime isn't too long if that's a concern. The software, the VXE R1 Pro, works as intended, but you might have to switch the language upon launch. That's no issue, and I'll just show you how to do it on screen. And for those that don't want to install anything, there is actually a web alternative that you can use, which is a nice bonus. So I've listed a bunch of pros. What's the catch in the mouse? Well, I'm not really sure there is a catch. Maybe the fact that it doesn't come with a 4K dongle out of the box, but that will probably be eating into their profits. This already is a really cheap mouse. So the big question you'd have to ask yourself is it better to buy this or another mouse? And this ultimately comes down to the shape of the mouse and if it works for you. However, if you aren't too fussed about the shape or are looking for a cheap, competitive wireless mouse, I wouldn't look past this. So to conclude, my experience with this mouse has been outstanding. And the fact that AliExpress has sent me this to review does not change my opinion. I've dealt with AliExpress for over 10 years now, and I found them really reliable. If you purchase from the link below, you'll be dealing with a trusted seller, so you'll be sure to get fast delivery depending on your location, but also a good service. I chose this mouse because it offers great specs at a price point that's really hard to beat. Not all gamers can afford the high-end mice, but this one gives the premium features at a budget price. There are other cheaper alternatives like the Attack Shark X3, but for an extra $10, $10, $20, you can get increased power efficiency, reliability, and just overall a better mouse. I managed to get this mouse for around $41, including taxes. So it really is a steal, and I would definitely say this is my main mouse, and I will be using it for probably years to come. So if you're interested in getting your hands on one, there'll be a link in the description below, which will be an affiliate link. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.